y'all to the promised land, you watch. I'ma bring all y'all back to that real shit. Cause God sent me in for y'all. I'ma put it in.
Second vision. Three-dimensional geometrical shapes used for interdimensional communication. Because I'm tired, I won't put much detail into this article. In 1990 and 91, I was already well exercised in achieving a paralysis state, which is the precursor to astral projection, which medical science has termed sleep paralysis. Something I always thought sounded pretty silly or stupid, because you're not asleep when you're wide awake to realize paralysis has taken place. Or when you focus voluntarily to produce this state, you are not asleep. Being awake is not being asleep. I wish medical science would stop calling it sleep paralysis when you're wide awake during a process. For those who've experienced what I'm talking about, you know this to be a fact. Again, medical science and their terms never fail to make me shake my head at their arrogance and ignorance. If you are awake, why call it sleep paralysis when you're awake? Answer. So idiots like associates I've known for over 20 years will still be able to say, well, how do you know you aren't asleep? After I just told you for the 25th time I'm wide awake. Anyway, after I learned to achieve that function within my conscious perception, I had my second vision in 1990 or 91. The reason I typed 1990 or 91 is because it was either of those 2 years. Can't remember the exact year. I used to hear the term vision throughout my life and thought it had to do with what people call vivid or lucid dreaming. That's the only thing I could relate a vision to. I know now a vision is nothing near to a dream. So one night I'm in a paralysis state riding the waves of energy, looking into the darkness as the energy is surging through my entire body. I'm focused on the darkness as per usual, and the intensity of the darkness basically grabbed my consciousness and took control of it, and I was sent images of vivid shapes. There were 3 geometrical shapes that instantaneously appeared one by one in the darkness I was observing. These shapes were outlined in a laser blue light which formed each shape. I was wide awake while observing this. I was told by some people that I truly respect that I should never speak about this publicly, but I'm not about hiding or withholding information if I don't know why I should. If something is happening to me, why not tell other people to see who else will step forward and speak up? The first image was a 3-dimensional geometrical shape outlined in laser blue light forming an L shape in 3D visual format with 4 squares. Again, I state forming the L like the movement covered by the knight on a chessboard. The second image was an acute triangle with the same laser blue light used to form the first shape. The third image outlined in laser blue light was a 3-dimensional cube. A 3-dimensional cube with another 3-dimensional cube overlapping it, both rotating at the same pace. The third and last image was rotating as opposed to the first 2 images. The first 2 shapes were still completely motionless. As the 3 images appeared one by one, there seemed to be information somehow transferred or downloaded into me with each image presented. The information was not visible, but its presence clear and precise while being transmitted to me, rapidly at a speed that I can only describe as beyond light. What I've just said, spoken or typed, is the first to the majority on a grand scale. The only 2 people that I have told this before, I specifically never told them that part. Concerning the transmission, that goes for the classes held at 9th and Rhode Island in 97 and 98 for the HTM. I didn't tell them that part either. My last question asked to the Imam at 9th and Rhode Island in the Northwest in 97 or possibly 98 was, what were those 3 images I saw in my vision? As the 2 squares within each other rotated, I felt that my mind was being taken over by a force more powerful than myself to not be able to stop what I was seeing. The 2 3-dimensional cubes in laser blue light rotating, getting faster and faster as I had no control over stopping what I was seeing in my mind. I opened my eyes to see if I would see my room, but I didn't see it, and I could only see the cubes rotating faster and faster. My eyes were wide open and I'm not seeing my room. I'm blinking my eyes, feeling my eyelids open and close, and I'm seeing the cubes in the darkness of my mind's perception as my eyes were wide open. Whatever was taking over my mind was definite. I sat up in my bed and grabbed both sides of my head with my hands violently shaking my head, yelling out, "Stop, no." To my surprise, immediately everything stopped and I could instantly see the darkness in my room. I flicked on the light, grabbed the phone, made a phone call to tell somebody what just happened. Now, I'm not a fan of comic books. I never have been. So when Hollywood decided to reproduce Stan Lee's Iron Man and a few other comic book characters of his, I didn't instantly hop on the bandwagon like most. You might get the impression that I'm a super fan of science fiction, but I'm not. How to explain that? I'm not a fan of commercialized science fiction, such as comic books recreated for Hollywood's entertainment industry. It's something about comic books turned into movies that just doesn't get me excited, especially when I was never into comic books in the first place. My neighbor from Harlem, whose judgment I trust, told me, yo, go check out Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. was perfect for that part. So I decided to go check it out. There wasn't nothing else to do in this town, and it turned out to be pretty damn good. Plus, being a fan of Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang Clan gave me more incentive. One of Ghostface's aliases is Tony Starks, aka Iron Man. Thus, he had a cameo appearance in the first Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man was a great flick. So after Iron Man 2, I decided since Robert Downey Jr. was in the Avengers, I had to go check that out as well. I'm sitting in the theater, and basically at the very beginning of the movie, there sits a blue, three-dimensional cube. What they have termed in the movie the Tesseract. The image of that object displayed on a monitor in that movie is exactly what I saw in 1990 or 91 in my vision, for the exception of the glowing bluish ball of light in the center. The object displayed is the main focal point of the movie. That object displayed in the Avengers is an exact replica of what I saw in 1990 and 91 in my second crystal clear high definition vision that impeded my mind and took over my perception. Again, for the exception of its center glowing, a blue laser three-dimensional square cube overlapping another blue laser three-dimensional square cube. Unlike the movie, in my vision, there were two three-dimensional cubes rotating simultaneously as one. BornSkywalker.